Hi everyone, and welcome to another video of SUPERSYSADMIN.com. Today we will be talking about PowerShell profiles. Before we jump into this, we should maybe first clarify what a PowerShell profile exactly is. A PowerShell profile is nothing more than a PowerShell script, so a file with a PS1 extension. It has a specific name and a specific location. What those are we will see further on. Multiple profiles can be applied to your PowerShell session. They are loaded each time a new PowerShell session is started. As such, a profile is just a regular PowerShell script. You can put any PowerShell code you would like into it, but mostly it's used to customize the console and to load custom scripts and modules. Also, as a PowerShell profile is a script, you have to ensure your PowerShell is configured to allow running scripts. By default, PowerShell prohibits the run scripts. You can modify that with the commandlet set execution policy. I usually set it to remote signed, so that scripts created by myself always run. And finally, the PowerShell profiles do not exist by default, so if you want to use them, you have to create them yourself. What is usually a source of confusion is the name and the location of the profiles, so let's summarize which options exist. In total, 6 different profiles can be applied to a given user on a given computer. Per PowerShell session, a maximum of 4 profiles can be loaded. Which profile or profiles will be applied to your console depends on 2 parameters, the user and the host. The user part refers to the currently logged on user. The host does not refer to the computer, but is in this context the type of PowerShell console you're using. On a standard Windows installation, 2 types of host exist. The regular PowerShell console, which can be called by running PowerShell.exe, and the PowerShell ISE, which can be called by PowerShell_ISE.exe. So let's have a look at which profiles can be possibly loaded. On the first layer, we have the profiles which apply to all users on a computer. The first profile which can be called is profile.ps1 in $pshome. $pshome is the PowerShell installation directory and is usually located in C, Windows, System32, Windows PowerShell, v1.0. This profile applies to both the PowerShell and the PowerShell ISE console. The second profile in this layer that can be loaded and applies to all users is either Microsoft.PowerShell_profile.ps1 when using the PowerShell console, or Microsoft.PowerShell_ISE_profile.ps1 when using the PowerShell ISE. Both are also located in the $pshome directory. On the second layer, we have the profiles that apply to the currently logged on user. First, we have again a common profile.ps1, which applies to both the PowerShell console and the PowerShell ISE console. This one is located in $home, Documents, Windows PowerShell. $home is usually C users username. The second profile which can apply to the currently logged on user is either Microsoft.PowerShell_profile.ps1 when using the PowerShell console, or Microsoft.PowerShell_ISE_profile.ps1 when using the PowerShell ISE. These are also located in $home, Documents, Windows PowerShell. On the right hand side you see a list of all the variables which contain the various paths. We will check those later on. As mentioned in the previous slide, none of these profiles exist by default, so it's up to you and your use case which profile or profiles you will create and what to put in which. If you're using multiple profiles, you might be wondering if there is a specific order in which the profiles are loaded. This is in fact the case. They are loaded in the order they are listed in this slide. So in case you have similar or conflicting code in multiple profiles, the most specific profile will always be the one that has the last word. So let's first examine the profile variables. If you open a PowerShell console and call the profile variable, you can see that it will default to the most specific profile, $home, Documents, Windows PowerShell, Microsoft.PowerShell_profile.ps1. If you do the same in the PowerShell ISE, you can see that the profile variable translates to another file, $home, Documents, Windows PowerShell, Microsoft.PowerShell ISE underscore profile.ps1, which is the most specific profile for the PowerShell ISE. If you want to see a list of all the profile variables, you could do $profile, get member, member type, node property, and to make it more visible on the screen, I will do select object, name, definition, and then format list. So if you want to refer to a specific profile, you could do $profile, and then for instance, all users, all hosts. And if you want to check if a specific profile exists, you could do test path, $profile, current user, current host. And as you can see, I currently have no existing profile for current user, current host. So now that we have a better view on what PowerShell profiles are and how to query them, let's go through a few examples of what you can do with them. So let's create a profile which applies to my PowerShell console and applies only to my user. As you know by now, this one would go in $home, Documents, Windows PowerShell, and is called Microsoft.PowerShell underscore profile.ps1. So we can do new item, item type, file, path $home, Documents, Windows PowerShell, name, Microsoft.PowerShell underscore profile.ps1. And if you now again do test path, you can see that the file now exists. So now let's edit this file in the ISE. We can easily open this file in the ISE by typing ISE $profile, current user, current host. With $host UI, raw UI, you can modify the looks of your console. So let's for instance change the color of the text. For that we select foreground color. And let's put it to yellow. If you now save the file and open a new PowerShell console, you can see that the text is now yellow. So let's do something else. $host UI, raw UI, and then select window title. With window title, we can modify what appears in the title bar of the PowerShell console. So let's put it equal to our username. So if we again save the file and open a new session, you can see that the title bar now shows our username. For the next example, we will create a small custom module. In this module, we will put one function, which will write some text to the host. And we will save it to C modules. Now, as you might know, since version 3, PowerShell will automatically load all modules which it will find in its paths. If you want to know which paths PowerShell checks, you can consult the variable ps_module_path. As you can see, the path C modules where we saved our custom module is not included in these. So what we could do now in our profile is include a line which will add C modules to this path. We can do that as following. So let's save the file and open a new PowerShell session. If you now again query PS module path, you can see that C modules is now included. So that means that we should now have directly access to our new module. So let's try to call the function. And as you can see, the function is directly available without having to manually import it. So, that concludes today's tutorial. I hope you learned something. And if you liked it, please take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also visit us at SUPERSYSADMIN.com for more tips, tutorials and scripts. If you have any question, please feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you, bye bye.